Hey, everyone. What's going on? It's your host, Max Wild, for another episode of Theory Thursdays. Thank you all for joining in. We're here every Thursday um, to just uncover some music theory tips and tricks. So, welcome. I see some familiar faces in the chat. What's up, John Kingston the Third from Rockaway Park? Nate, Andrew Duke is in the house. Mike McClure, a lot of familiar faces. We've got Torsten from Germany. I'm in Berlin. Torsten, where in Germany are you? Alexis from Vancouver, Washington. Nice. Matt. Okay, Matt is a former dub spotter, and he just signed up for one of our, a couple of our courses actually. Nice to see you, Matt. We got Enigmatic Onion. What's up? And see if this chat will let me go any lower. Who else do we have here? Okay. Cool. Wait 1 second. Let me just fix this real quick. We got Pandemic. Torsten is from Bavaria. Love Bavaria. Yeah, just drop in the chat where you guys are all calling from. We're here every day at 1 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. European time, 10 a.m. Pacific time, bringing you free educational live streams about music production. Mondays we have tips and tricks with dolltr, focusing on Ableton Live, and we had a big week last week with the release of Live 11. So we were going to be diving into a lot of Live 11 stuff and previewing the beta version for you guys. I'm also going to be using the beta today. So if you're interested in that, check it out. Tuesdays, we have TAETRO Talks with our creative director, TAETRO, who is interviews different artists and different industry reps. Really cool discussions going on Tuesdays. Wednesdays, we've got Hybrid Home Studios with the one and only Lewis Beck, where he tears apart and puts together his studio, shows you how to put together analog and digital and set it all up and make some really dope music. Thursdays is yours truly right here for some theory. Fridays is Abe Duque, real veteran of the music industry, giving you production basics. So if you're a up and coming producer, definitely check out that show. Abe has been around and had a long career, is still having a long career. John Selway on Saturdays with Techno Saturdays, and then once a month we have feedback sessions with Atropolis. So yeah, we've got a lot going on this show. Before I get into it, also please subscribe down below, hit the bell key to be notified when we go live. Also, there's so much going on right now. I've got to try to remember everything. We just launched Pro Sessions. Pro Sessions is a brand new masterclass / workshop series with our favorite artists or your favorite artists, and they are live streams which you can sign up for and support your favorite artists. So we've got our first artist is Faulty DL, we've got Era, we've got Inland. Thomas is going to drop the link in the chat for Pro Sessions. It's not that expensive. It's like $30, and it's a 2-day live stream, just sharing tips and tricks about all these artists' favorite workflows. Okay, so that's that. What else do we need to talk about? Well, we've got Black Friday coming up. This is actually pre-sale Black Friday. So if you're interested in a course, all our courses right now are 45% off. The online courses, 25% off in New York, and 40% off in Berlin. Again, Thomas is going to be dropping those links and discount codes in the chat. Cool. Oh, we got Pandemic from Berlin, Reinickendorf. Nice. Life of Brian is from Bay Area, California. Torsten is from Bavaria. Nice, nice. Okay, cool. So let's get into it. We are talking about, last week we did melodic techno. This week we are going to get into deep house. So, that's a big topic. And, I feel like deep house is a really like popular genre. It really came up in the early 80s, okay, right out of Chicago house, and was known for, having lush pads and that deeper sound, right, using the 909, using a lot of vocals, which house then later kind of abandoned a little bit, but deep house was using those. And then later it kind of evolved. I'm going to look at one of my favorite labels, in Juna Deep, and check out some of their, some of the, like, I'm going to try to recreate a Juna Deep sound, okay? Because, there's a lot of different deep house styles and approaches to making this type of music. So I'm not going to try to do everything. I'm gonna go for that style, and I'm gonna dissect it and show you guys how I approach it from a music point of view. I'm not gonna make a whole track. I'm just gonna make kind of put together all the parts, and I'm gonna show you each part how it works step by step from a music theory point of view. If you have any questions, what's up, Regine? Nice to see you. Hey, Tyra. If you have any questions, please drop them in the chat, and I will get to them. I love sharing, or just looking at it from a music theory point of view. So I have prepared here, and you're going to, if you haven't seen Live 11, this is what it looks like. So I've prepared a few things here, okay? I've got some drums, some fills, a bass, some chords, etc., etc. Just a couple things to play with. I'm gonna start with the drums. By the way, why don't you guys, for those of you already making deep house, drop in the chat what your favorite artists or record labels are that you like to listen to for deep house, and we can kind of share and check out who you like to listen to. I'm gonna start with drums. I set my tempo to 112, which is, I feel like deep house is a little bit slower than most house, okay? Just because you're going for that like deeper, slower vibe, right? I'm gonna start with just one bar, and I'm gonna start with a kick. I always like to start with a beat when I'm making music, because, or drums rather, because that kind of sets the, well, it kind of establishes the BPM, and it establishes the groove. So then I can lay the other elements on top of that, like the chords, the melodies, the bass lines, all that. So I'm going to start with a kick, and there we go. I'm going to take that kick, a nice deep kick. Kind of picked this out beforehand so that I could jump right into it. It's house, right? So it's 4 on the floor. So there's one kick per beat, right? This is beat 1, beat 2, beat 3, and beat 4. So this is, house has a straight beat, 4 on the floor. All right, cool. Next, I'm gonna add some closed hi-hats. Just very simple on the off beats, right? So those are on the ands, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Oh, okay. I'm just reading. Pandemic went to Shiz Damia in 2015 at half and 2. Okay, nice. And Scott Vincent is in the house. What's up, Scott? Nevio, Nay. You ever start a session in the session view in Ableton? Yes, that's what we're doing right now. And Torsten, Crossroad, Rebels, and Damien Lazarus. Yes, love those. Chez Damier. Nice. Ah, John is in the house. All right, I better step it up for John. Okay, so we got our hi-hats right between the kicks. So what that does, it kind of moves the beat forward, right? Let's add the clap. Kind of a more of a I think I have a filter on this clap. I'm gonna add the clap on the 2 and the 4. And then what I like to do is I like to add some 16th notes. And I'll go with my okay. I kind of prepared a little something for you guys, which is I have a shaker here, and the shaker is where is it? Well, let's find it. Nope. Yeah, it's this. Okay, I might as well name that. This is my shaker, and it's an instrument rack. I'll explain what I did in a second, but it's basically I'm just gonna draw 16th notes. Okay, I've got I'm just using the pencil tool, and I've got a 16th note grid. And now here's the really cool thing about Live 11 is I can change up the velocity and the probability as well. So these expression tools I have, where all I need to do is select the shaker, and then I hit randomize. And now let's listen to that shaker. Before it was this, it would have been just straight 16th notes with the same velocity. And yeah, Pandemic's saying this is minimal house. Yeah, it's right now without chords, without anything, it's sounding pretty minimal. But now with a randomize, okay, that's very random. I'm also not going to I don't want to randomize it as much. Like 127 is going to randomize it a lot. Let me just randomize it a little bit. Try that again. All right, I really like that. That's cool. So that's one really nice feature in Live 11. I can even change up the probability. I'm not going to do that, but I could. Check this out. Select all of them. And now as you hear, I'll just solo that for a second so that you can hear it. So I changed the probability to 75%. Now it's at 50. It's only playing him sometimes, right? I'm going to keep it at 100 for now. Right away, you can tell that the shaker now has life, more groove to it, right? More swing to it, because it has those dynamics. Really important. Another thing I'm going to add, which I like to do to a lot of my drum beats, is I like to add groove. Okay, and another nice feature in Live 11 is that right in the browser you have grooves. Check out all these this cool selection of grooves. So I mean, Live 10 has grooves obviously as well, but they were just they were in the user library or in the yeah, I guess they were there in your packs, so they were kind of in a subfolder. But right now it's nice because they are right in the browser. So I'm gonna pick this groove, swing 1654, and I am going to add that to my drum beat. So select it down here, and let's add the rest of the drums. Maybe a little less. Let me just turn that kick down a bit. And cool, I like that. Great. So now let's talk about the harmony. All right, or the key. Mike is saying, can't wait for your beta copy of Live 11. Random range of velocity alone will simplify your workflow. That is so true and reduce the need for LFOs. 100%, Mike, it's well worth the wait. Big game changer there. So everyone asks me, so what do you start with? Do you start, the way that I look at making a track is I think of 4 elements. Every song has usually 4 elements. Not every track, but most tracks. Drums, chords, a melody, and a bass line. All right, now obviously there's always going to be exceptions, like techno might have no harmony, like no chords really, or no melody, and just bass and drums. But a lot of songs have those 4 elements. And for this song, I'm gonna go to the key. Let me just see, what key am I gonna pick? Yeah, okay, cool. So I'm gonna pick the key of D major. John, hey, what's up? Hey, Max, show the updated electric if you get a moment. Can always use some smooth, deep electric piano chords. All right, John, just for you. Yeah, so Ableton did change up electric. If you want to check it out, really cool. It looks, and we'll use it since it's John. So it's in your instruments. There we have it. Let me just make another track for that. And drop that in. So let's work with that. It sounds like this. Add some reverb. All right, cool. I might work with that electric. So what I'm going to do is I am going to be in the key of D. And now here's another really cool thing about Live 11. If you are working in a certain key and you want to see the notes that you're using and not be out of key, use only the notes from your key, you can actually pick the key right here. So you hit scale, and pick the root, which is D, and then pick major or minor. Now, what it does is it shows you all the right notes. So if I hit scale, it's going to allow me to only play the right notes. So here we go. This is D major scale. Right? Only notes from the D major scale. If you hit the scale note, if you hit that scale button again, it'll show you all the notes all the notes, so the chromatic notes, but it will highlight the notes that are in the D major scale. So you can see that they are all orange. Cool. So I'm gonna pick a really simple progression. Now, first of all, the reason I picked D major is that deep house, at least a lot of the Anjuna deep stuff is it's very uplifting and mellow and kind of positive. So I'm going to pick a major key. All right, minor is more dark, major is more bright. I'm also going to pick, well, I'm going to show you. I'm going to make a very simple progression, which is just consists of 2 chords. So, oh wait, let me do that again. I'm gonna slow up the harmonic rhythm, right? The harmonic rhythm is how many beats do you hold a chord for? Do you hold it for 1 bar, 2 bars, 2 beats? All right. So in deep house or anything that you want to kind of lay on a groove and make it sound more spacey, you should space out the chords. So I'm going to play these chords for 2 bars each. All right, I'm just going to use these 2 chords. I'm going to show you how I can make a deep house song using just these 2 chords. And here is my G major chord. Here's my G major. And here is my D major chord. And I could call this the 4 chord, and this is the 1 chord. And let me play these in legato and quantize them real quick. And now let's duplicate the loop. And what I'm going to do is what I'm going to do is play an inversion by bringing the bottom note up. An inversion is when you flip the order of the notes, right? So that the lowest note might not be the root. So this is first inversion. And now I'm going to go to let me just make the velocity the same. I don't like the, John, sorry, I don't like the sound of the electric. I'm going to put this on the piano. All right, next thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to, so really, really simple harmonic progression, right? It's just 4, 1, 4, 1. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this over to the bass. So I am going to go over to my bass. And copy that over. And I'm going to change this rhythm. First of all, I'm going to take out the top 2 notes. And let's see what I want here. No. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this bass, but I'm not going to play the roots. I'm going to play different notes. So I'm actually going to go. Yeah, I'm going to do that. So the roots I'm going to actually play is G. Then I'm going to play F sharp, which is the 3rd. And then I'm going to play Then I'm going to play the third of G. And again, it's really helpful that I have these highlighted notes that are showing me the notes in my key. And then let's check that out. All right, I need some rhythm, right? So let's add some rhythm to that. We're going to do a classic deep house, or classic house, any kind of house really. Classic house, syncopated. Oh, what is going on? Don't go. So what I'm doing here is just playing a very simple syncopated rhythm. Let's see what would happen if I play this down an octave. Now let's leave it there, but maybe play that down an octave. Let's check that out with the chords. So again, I'm just playing G major, and that is the root of G major, to D major, the third of D major, and then back to G major, but playing the third, which is G, and then the root of D. Let's check that out with the piano. Ha ha ha. Ah, TAETRO in the house. I gotta change the view for that. So I gotta tell you a little backstory. TAETRO is, he's amazing at what he does, and it has been guiding the whole team, the whole 343 team, into getting where we are today with all the streaming and the aesthetics and everything that you see. So we're really glad to have him. And one of the things that we were working on is the lighting. So thank you, TAETRO. Glad you like the lighting. Alvcard, thank you for the comment. Yes, the bass sounds deep. Well, thank you. That is exactly what we're going for, right? Pandemic, you don't like my song? Or maybe you like Old MacDonald Had a Farm. Give it a few minutes and it'll shape up. Regine, Max, did you open a new window for syncopated rhythm? If so, did you put it under the bass? I did not open a new window for the syncopated rhythm. The syncopated rhythm is in the bass. So all I did is I copied the clip from the chords from the piano. So I copied this over to the bass, and then I just took out the top two notes because it's a bass. It's only playing the bottom note. Sorry, you can't see what I'm doing. So I took the piano chords, copied them over to the bass, took out the top two notes, and then dropped the bass note by 2 octaves. And then what I did is I kind of chopped up the rhythm, or chopped up the notes to create a rhythm. All right, cool. Let's get back to the piano. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do what's called an open voicing. Right now, these are closed voicings. So I want a thicker sound, right? So I'm going to take the middle note and bring it down an octave. Or maybe what I'll do is take it up an octave. No. You know what? I'm going to leave it as is. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take these chords over, sorry, the piano chords over to my pad. I'm going to call this pad. And let's see what this sounds like. Cool. So as you can hear, this pad kind of sounds lush. We want to add that. Really important for deep house is to create that lush, uplifting sound. And what I'm going to do is I am going to kind of spread these out, and by taking certain notes up an octave or down an octave. So take the middle note up an octave. And here's a trick. What I'm going to do now with the pads is I'm going to try to keep the same note on top to kind of create this like we call it a pedal. All right. It's like suspense where one note stays the same while the notes underneath change. So let's see what that note might be. You know what? I think D and A would be really good. They're a perfect fifth. A perfect fifth always gives you this really open sound. Glug blub. Is this really being made for 40 minutes? Yes, we just made that in 40 minutes. I hope you don't mean that I'm not going fast enough. So anyway, I'm going to go D and A. And I'm just going to keep that as kind of a... You know, I'm going to change this note, I think. I'm going to change this. I need a little bit more. So I've got G and I need at least... Let me add another note here. Let me add a... I'm just trying to make the chord a bit thicker. Oh, I like that. So we've got a D chord here, right? And I might as well do this. We've got a D chord, D major chord, and I'm playing the 9, which sounds really nice. So I'm adding what are called extensions. Extensions are when you take a chord and you just keep going up the chord, right, in thirds, and you create these nice, rich harmonies. I'm back to G here. Let me go back to D. And let me go back to A. See what that sounds like. We could even add a higher layer on top of that. Maybe an E. No, I think the D is better. All right, looks like I have a special guest in my who just surprised me. Okay, okay, I have to make sure I don't mess this up. Sometimes I have surprise visitors, so let me see if I can get this guy on. Sometimes he's a real nuisance and just heckles me. But let's see what we can do here. Oh, wait, I have to assign him. Let's see if that worked. Oh, hello. It's Abe Duque. How did that happen?
I don't know, Max. I saw you doing this thing on is it Deep House today?
Yeah, you saw me. You saw me like teaching some rubbish on the internet.
No. I was like, wow, and I was like, I wonder if I go on and hit that link from last week, if you would, you actually picked up. Wow.
Yes.
Hello, everybody. I'm Abe Duque. I do tomorrow's show. I do Friday's show. I have an announcement to make before we go on.
Yes, please.
And I'm being a good sport. For the first time since we started, Max has actually beat my numbers.
Oh!
And a weekly tally of views on the YouTube channel.
Look at that.
You beat my numbers by about 14.
Oh, my goodness.
Who's keeping count? Yeah, you beat me. 384, I think you got for this week, for last week's show. I got 370, and so you're on top, man. You could actually make all those claims and now actually not be lying.
As you guys can see, we're very competitive here at 343 TV. But yeah, well, Abe, maybe my tracks are just doper than yours. What can I say?
Oh wow! Now this is
maybe my beats are just hotter than yours.
Maybe they are.
So while we have you, Abe, yeah, we could use your feedback on some stuff. Actually, you know what? This is maybe a good point to just tell everyone about like what we're doing here. So just to kind of take a few seconds for those of you. Hey, Chris Portanova's in the house. Chris is one of our students. So yeah, we are a electronic music school based in New York City, Berlin. And you know what? I'm just going to switch over to this. And Abe, I will get you in on this one as well, because I have it all set up so that people can see. 1 second. And guest one, there you are. So we're a school in New York City, Berlin, and online. And yeah, we've been having a great time teaching you guys how to produce music. So we teach everything from Ableton Live, Logic Pro, production, mixing and mastering, vocal production, composition and arrangement, sound design and synthesis. We've got our Black Friday sale coming up, and it's actually a pre-sale right now, which we haven't advertised, but we want to offer it to you guys as our supporters. 45% off all our classes with code Early Friday.
Hey, I'm stealing that code because I never get these special things on my show.
Well, you
always have these special giveaways.
Actually, Early Friday is for Berlin, and I think it's early Turkey for New York and online. But I think Thomas will drop those links in the chat. So yeah, sign up for some classes, and we'd love to have you. We've got a lot of students here. Regina is one of our students. Chris is one of our students. What's up, TWD? So yeah, Abe, help us out here. Help a friend out.
I don't know what you need.
So
I think you were doing fine by yourself.
Okay, so you were just heckling. Is that what it was? You were just
no. I actually wanted to make that announcement, but yeah, I'm whatever you need. I'll just chime in as you keep on going.
Okay, cool. So Abe, I want you to stick around for a minute. I was gonna do what I was gonna do is I was gonna add. Regina was asking about this a bass rhythm. So the syncopated bass rhythm. I was gonna just take that and. I feel like I need a lead, right? So I'm going to copy and paste that into this lead, and I'm going to try to make a melody out of that. So, Abe, could you tell me what you think? I'm obviously going to bring this up a couple octaves. Let's see what this sounds like. So that sounds pretty nice, but I want to add, I don't want to just be playing the roots, so or the same exact notes as the bass. So what I'm going to do is, let me see. You know what? How about I do that? I'm going to just keep the same rhythm, but change the notes. And now I'm just going to repeat that rhythm. Yeah, go ahead, Abe.
No. I'm liking this. Go ahead.
So, and I'll show you a really cool trick that if you have a motif. So what I'm doing is I'm making a motif here. Check it out. Right, and now instead of changing the note, I'm actually going to just
can you tell me what the technical definition of a motif is?
Yes, great question, Abe. So a motif is, very simply put, an idea. All right, an idea that forms the basis of a whole musical section or even a whole song. It's kind of like, I like to think of it like the theme. Or like the subject, like if you were having a conversation, like Abe was talking about our numbers, right? That would be the motif of our conversation.
Numbers.
Yeah, the numbers on YouTube. So what I'm going to do is, this motif is this idea of having three notes in a syncopated way, and that's the motif, right? It's starting up, and then it's going down, and then it's going up again. And the pitches and the rhythm together form the motif. What I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this. Now I have it for the same length as... Oh no, I have to duplicate it one more time. And then one more time. All right, let's check it out. Okay, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to change one note just so that it doesn't come across as boring. Maybe I'll change these notes here. Could do it again. Maybe I'll sneak in another. So what I'm doing is I'm just changing one note, either going up or down a scale step. So again, I'm just following these orange lines because those are the notes in my scale, in my key, and then just doing very subtle changes, just to kind of change it up. Could do it here as well.
Very nice. And that covers 8 bars, I guess?
Yeah, so that covers 8 bars. And what I'm trying to do is match everything to the length of my chord progression, which is 8 bars, as you can see. And the harmonic rhythm again is 2 bars. Each of these chords is 2 bars long, which kind of gives the whole vibe like a mellow, deep vibe, because it lets the music breathe. That's the whole point when you're doing deep house. At least that's my understanding. But Abe is a master at house music. So I want to hear what Abe would do to this.
Well, look, you're putting me on the spot because I actually came here to learn a little bit about this from you. Because No, I'll tell you why. I like these ever evolving genres. Right now, I know deep house has been around a long time. Well, considering, relatively speaking, but, I talked to Subway once and he's like, I think that should be called deep techno. So, I'm not sure exactly what deep house is except that I know that it's a little bit more mellow and that it's a little bit more, but I think it still needs to be danceable somehow. So as far as I hear, everything you have is what I've understood to be deep house, but I think maybe a little bit more of maybe percussive elements or maybe typical house sort of sounds.
Okay.
But I'm just throwing that out there. I'm not. It's like only an hour show, right? So you only have like 9 minutes left. So what can you actually do to like?
So I'm gonna show you one more thing, Abe, which is these hi-hats. I actually made an instrument rack ahead of time to prep for this. So if you listen to the hi-hats right now, and Regine actually was kind of saying something along the same lines as you, which is to add some more percussion. What I did is I made a shaker rack, and on the one instance of this shaker, I just have the regular dry shaker. But then on the other shaker, I added a resonator. And resonators are super cool. What you can do is you can pick a root, and I'm going to pick, obviously, D. You know what? I'm going to change this to D. And now, see what that sounds like. I'm going to turn this on. So now, this resonator is playing the kind of the rhythm. It's giving us some harmony to this shaker. Let's add some more higher. Let's add 24 semitones, which is 2 octaves. All right, so I've got that going, and now let's add some more percussion. So I've got these drum fills. Let's add maybe some. I've got some timbales here. No, where's the timbale here? Let's add some syncopation here as well. So what I like to do for the syncopation is just if you play any note and it's on a 16th note grid, and then have a space of 2 16th notes in between, that gives you what's called a dotted rhythm. Because what a dot does, just to explain that real quick, normally if you have an 8th note, this would be an 8th note. And what a dot does in traditional music is it takes half the value and adds it to the original value. So half of an 8th note would be a 16th. So you would be getting this. And if you do that, you have that classic, you have this classic rhythm right. But let's just duplicate that because we don't want it to repeat that quickly.
Is that a Euclidean rhythm?
Uh-oh. Here we go, Abe. What's the Euclidean rhythm?
Oh, well, there's I know them from some of the units that I have in modules that I have in Eurorack, where and I've learned because of that, because there's this mathematically based rhythms that that would be a Euclidean rhythm that you're playing right now, but there's all sorts of math games that you could play that will kind of yield these kind of flavors, different flavors.
For sure. I mean, the way that I would think of it is just like a polyrhythm, kind of like you have, all polyrhythms are syncopated. Definition of syncopation is just playing a rhythm that goes against the main rhythm. So I guess a Euclidean rhythm would be a part of that as well. So let's check this out. The great thing about this rhythm is that you can move it by 16th notes this way. Let's check out all the positions. You know what? I probably wouldn't play that so all the way through. I might have like one bar in my arrangement that does that as kind of like a fill, but maybe I'll have something like...
You know what I would probably do is that I'd keep like what you had, but like keep all the dotted ones, but then like just delete like certain ones so that it's dotted, but they're missing notes in there. And it's not as always continuous.
Okay, that's
and robotic because of that, but it makes a rhythm with dotted rhythms.
Yeah, let's check it out. I could do the randomize again here. Cool, I like that. I could also do a little fill like this. Let's randomize that again. And then I'm not going to loop this, so I'm going to do something like this. Cool, so I'll keep that as my fill. I did have one other thing that I wanted to show you, which is this vocal. which I'll drop in there, and then we're almost done. So let's record that in. Now let's keep out the second one. What do you think, Abe?
So this sounds very hopeful.
Very hopeful. That's what it is. This is supposed to be a hopeful track. None of this dark stuff that Selway always makes, you know. It's like you listen to Selway's thing, and you want to jump out a window.
I hope he's not in the chat right now.
Selway, are you in the chat? Nate, thanks for stopping by. See you next time. Regina's saying, Abe, Deep House has soul. It hits the root chakra, red sex energy, with the deep melodic bass, but on the top end it is light and ethereal. And yeah, that is exactly it. So I went for an ethereal vocal here. And you know what? How about I duplicate this loop real quick, and then I go to sounds out of key. All right, I've got to work on that. Basically, this is a sampler right here. I sampled a vocal, but it sounds a bit weird when I pitch it up. All right, last thing I'm gonna put in here is just a drone to give it that deep vibe. So I'll pick again the notes from my key. What do you think?
That sounds like it could work.
Think like it could work. Let's check it out. Let's make those longer. Have those play legato. It's a little too loud. Make it a bit shorter. What do you like better? Do you like the low octave?
The low one.
The low octave?
The low one, but at one point I would like to hear the other one kind of switched up with it as well.
What do you mean?
I like the lower octave.
Okay.
But then later on, I'd like to hear a bit of the higher one as well.
Okay.
There's an arrangement that
right.
that you have to do, right?
Right. Okay. Cool. And do you think that this should I have this second note? These notes playing here, or do you think it's too many notes at once? Should I only have the first?
Whenever I hear anybody say, "Do you think there's too many notes at once?" The answer is usually there's too many notes at once.
Okay. I like that.
I'm more of a minimalist when it comes to these things,
So let's check this out.
If it works without the other notes, then the answer is obvious. It's the less notes, the better.
That's a great approach, and that's great advice, everyone. If you think there's too much going on, and if it works with less, then use less. Let's check it out. All right, I like it, Abe. I think it sounds good.
Well, aren't you happy that I stopped by?
I am. Thank you. What a pleasant surprise. Thanks for stopping by. And I think we're just about out of time. TWD says, so I'm now announcing my theme for this week's Techno Saturdays. Oops, all happy hardcore. Nice. Andrew Duke says, thanks for the tips. And for putting these sessions on, all the great workshops to sign up online, aiming to sign up for one, especially with the Black Friday sale. Yes, Andrew Duke, you need to get in there. We'd love to have you as a student. So I think we're reaching the end of our show. Once again, we're 343 TV. We stream every day at 1 p.m. Eastern Time and 7 p.m. European Time. If you're on the West Coast, 10 a.m. So you got to get up early. And
don't forget to subscribe.
Don't forget.
Looking for 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year.
That's right. But we just hit 6K, Abe. So that baby steps.
Hey, you had up to 33 watchers at one point towards the end here.
Wow.
Yeah, man. I think that might be a record for you.
That's definitely a record for me.
That's really great, man.
Thank you. Wait, are you still? Did I just wait?
I'm here.
There you are.
I'm here.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So thanks, guys, for watching. Tune in tomorrow for Abe's show, Production Basics, and on Saturday it'll be John Selway for Techno Saturdays. Make use of the Black Friday deals with what is it again? Early turkey for 45% off. Can't miss that. And check out pro sessions as well.
Is that capital sensitive or early turkey? Or
no,
is it just lowercase?
Doesn't matter uppercase or lowercase. So just early turkey. And if you want to sign up for a whole bundle, which is 2 courses, 4 courses, or even 6 courses, it's 25% off those with early big turkey. So yeah. I think I didn't come up with that, Abe. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching and being here again. We'll see you tomorrow for Abe's show, Production Basics, and have a great night. Well, for me, it's a night. For you, have a great day. See ya.